Hey kids, welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wildlife Crystal. I'm your host, Wildlife Crystal, a wildlife specialist. As you know, on this show, Wildlife Crystal, we are going to be learning fun facts about one animal and their environment every episode. I'm here with my very special co-host, the one and only Kaia the Koala.
Hello everyone! Good to see you again. Today, I would like to discuss an animal that has venom.
Oh yeah, Kaia? Do you have one in mind?
I do. I was taking a walk in my neighborhood today and saw one. I'll give you 3 hints, try and guess. Everyone at home, try and guess too.
Okay, I'm ready.
First, this animal is a reptile. Second, something that they do is in their name. And last, their name starts with the letter R.
I think I know. Is it the rattlesnake?
Yes, the rattlesnake! Wow, you're good at this.
Well, I happen to be super interested in snakes. They are very misunderstood animals on this planet. This is especially true for rattlesnakes, which are viewed as a scary animal that is both feared and destroyed. But the truth of the matter is much different. These guys are solitary animals that like their space and of course like to be left alone. This leads me to the topic of their rattling tail, which gives them their name. Rattlesnakes rattle to warn off predators or anyone to steer clear and leave them alone. Contrary to popular belief, rattlesnakes do not want to bite. They would much rather be left in peace. That is why they shake and rattle their tails to try to prevent a bite. They will also coil themselves up in an S shape and puff up by taking in extra air. This posture, along with their rattling, is meant to scare off anyone who might want to harm them.
Very interesting. And I see what you mean about them being misunderstood. They may look scary, but they're not. They just like their space and their alone time. I get that way sometimes too. What makes the sound of the rattle on their tail?
As I mentioned, rattlesnakes got their name from their signature rattles at the end of their tails. However, unlike a baby's rattle that has little balls inside that make the rattling noise, a rattlesnake's tail is empty. What makes the sound are the different layers of skin that build up on the rattle every time the snake sheds its skin. This, coupled with the snake shaking its tail at tremendous speed, causes the rattling noise we all know very well.
Whoa, cool facts. I always wanted to know how the rattlesnake made the rattling sound. Okay, now let's talk about the venom.
Rattlesnakes are venomous, which means when they bite, they inject venom into their prey using 2 long fangs. This venom, called hemotoxin, causes damage to the prey's circulatory system. If a human accidentally gets bitten by a rattlesnake, this can lead to internal bleeding, pain, or tissue damage. However, if the bite is treated quickly, fatalities are not common in humans.
Best to just leave them alone, I think. Would rather not have them stick their fangs in me. Speaking of bites, what do rattlesnakes eat?
It is the best way. Most animals don't want you to go up to them. A rattlesnake's diet consists mostly of small rodents and lizards, depending on the habitat in which they're found. In order to catch their food, they sit hiding until some prey happens to pass them, and then they strike. The venom paralyzes the prey, and they swallow it whole. An interesting fact, adult rattlesnakes will only eat once every 2 weeks.
Whoa! I wonder if they get hangry. I get hangry when I don't eat for like 2 hours. Where do these guys live?
There are 29 different types of rattlesnakes, and they are found in almost every part of the continental United States. But they are especially common in the Southwest, Mexico, and Central America. They live in a variety of habitats, including forests, grasslands, swamps, and deserts. They are also pretty good swimmers. Almost all reptiles, including rattlesnakes, are ectothermic, meaning cold-blooded, Ectotherms cannot regulate their body temperature like warm-blooded animals, like humans and koalas. Instead, they rely on their surroundings to provide heat, which means they cannot be active in cold weather. To keep from freezing in the cold desert nights, rattlesnakes congregate in dens and form swarming balls with their bodies.
Interesting. Tell us about rattlesnake babies.
This is very interesting. Unlike most reptiles, snakes don't lay eggs. Rather, female rattlesnakes carry and incubate their eggs inside their bodies for around 90 days before giving birth to live young. A baby rattlesnake is called a snakelet. When a snakelet is born, they come out fully developed and wrapped inside a membrane that they must puncture before taking their first breath of air. Breeding season for most species happens in the springtime, and a female only has babies every 2 years.
I heard that baby rattlesnakes are more poisonous than adults. Is that true?
Well, sort of. I will say this. Be very careful of the babies, or the snakelets. Though you might think the baby rattlesnakes are cuter because they are smaller, they are actually much more dangerous than the adults. For starters, they don't have rattles, so there will be no warning before they bite. Secondly, because they are learning how to be a rattlesnake, they don't have good control over their venom yet, which is just as potent as an adult. An adult rattlesnake will use its venom sparingly when they bite, while the young snake will pump whatever they bite full of venom.
Okay, note to self, stay extra clear of baby rattlesnakes. Okay, tell us one more fun fact about rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes can sense heat. Despite having no limbs, rattlesnakes are excellent predators. This is partly due to the heat-sensitive pits on each side of their head. These make smaller animals visible to the rattlesnakes even in complete darkness. The pits help them detect heat, transmitting nerves to the same area of the snake's brain that receives optic or visual nerve impulses, so they can see the heated image of its prey. The prey animal only needs to be slightly warmer than the surrounding for the rattlesnake to detect successfully and strike accurately.
Please tell me these interesting snakes are not under threat.
Unfortunately, yes. Rattlesnakes tend to avoid populated and developed areas because they prefer undisturbed natural habitats. Rapid habitat destruction by humans and deliberate extermination campaigns pose threats to the rattlesnake populations in many areas. Several species of rattlesnakes are listed as threatened or endangered. Rattlesnakes, like all animals, are very important to the ecosystem in which they live. It's important to protect each animal and their homes. I have 3 things we can all do right now to help snakes. First, always support local and not local conservation efforts that protect snakes and all animals' habitats. Second, if you live in an area prone to rattlesnakes, look into installing a rattlesnake-proof fence on your property and remove piles of rocks or boards from around your home. This gives less places for rattlesnakes to hide around where you live and eliminates human and snake confrontations. Which leads me to the last and I think most important thing, learn about rattlesnake safety in order to avoid confrontations. That's the key here. They just want to be left alone and live in peace. Every animal deserves that. Remember, it's up to us, the future generation, to make sure they have a place to live. Let's always work together and make sure animals and humans live in harmony. Let's always be kind and respectful to every creature on this planet. And now it's question time. Kaia, are you as excited as I am to put the knowledge we learned today to the test?
I sure am.
True or false? Rattlesnakes get their name from the rattle sound that their tail makes. The correct answer is true. Why are baby rattlesnakes more dangerous than adult rattlesnakes? Is it A, they haven't developed their rattle yet to warn predators? B, they haven't learned to control their venom output yet? C, none of the above? Or D, both A and B? The correct answer is D, both A and B. What is a baby rattlesnake called? Is it A, a cub, B, a kit, C, a snakelet, or D, a larva? The correct answer is C, a snakelet. You guys did amazing. Kaia and I have to go, but we will be learning fun facts about another animal next week. See you next time on Wildlife Crystal. Bye! Bye, guys! Toodles! See you next week! Bye!